We are here today because the transparency of the work we do in Interreg remains as an important element of Interreg cooperation also in the new financing period. It's important, of course, to make the data openly available about what is being done with the money put into Interreg, but it's also important to aim for recognition of the work we do. So it's not only a tick the box exercise to have the partners receiving X amount of euros available, but it is also a promotional element of our work we do. And the objective of keep.eu is to bring data on Interreg cooperation and the ENI CBC and IPA CBC cooperation publicly available for people in a harmonized way at a place where it's easy to find it all in one way and one place. And we, working with Keep, we want to do things basically. We want to make it very easy and possible to find the data. So we want to make it easily available. But at the same time, we also work very hard with you to make it easy for you to make your data available, to provide it in a suitable format for the interested users. And that's why we are here today, and we are very happy to see that we have been able to get quite a few communication colleagues into the room. Over half of the registrations were from communication colleagues, and the other nearly half was from program managers, IT managers. We have a few heads of JSs or MAs in the room with us today. And this is really good news for us because we believe that communicating Interreg and the benefits of the work is a task that we all share together. So it's not only the communication people, it's not only the data people, it's for us all to work together. So we have a good bunch of you in the room. Once more, warmly welcome. And what we will be looking at today is then a bit of keep.eu in the beginning of the new period 21-27. What are the new elements in Keep in this period? And for this event especially, we want to explore what can a program communication take advantage of. So we have some things for you to present, and we also then want to hear from you what you could wish for on top of what we already have in our plans. And we will also be looking at the HIT, GEMS, and keep.eu being tools that we are working with in Interact, and then the Cohesion platform. And we will be giving you some ideas and the background information on how all these things come together, how we work together to make all this a smooth bunch of tools for you to use. And of course, with all this, also what information is needed from you to have your program well represented in all these tools. And at the end of the event, we'll have quite a bit of time reserved for questions and answers from you. We already received some in the registrations, and in case we don't cover them in the presentations, we will be coming back to that, and you will be able to ask questions that you have from before or that arise during the session. And we hope that we then can run through the presentations first, and then we take all the questions at the end of the event. So take notes, and then you will be given the floor towards the end of the session. But before we go to the presentations, we have a few questions to you. So if we can have the link to a Menti slide in the chat, then we can go to that. I will stop sharing this one and share with you another. Just a second. Sorry. Okay, no, sorry about that. We see now that on the screen you should see the results. So we are asking from you how often you use keep.eu in your work. And we're interested in this because we have our regular bunch of people who work with Keep with Rafael and Janne quite a lot, but now we have a lot of communication people in the room, so it's interesting for us to hear your relationship to the platform. So we see that we have occasionally, or not at all, the majority, and then a few regular users as well. And this is interesting for us to see. Then we have a question that requires a bit of your thinking about some statements on Keep and the relationship you have from your program to it. Please read and respond. We're happy to see that the clear majority thinks that it's important for your programs that your data is well represented in Keep and also kept up to date. And that you understand also that we have quite a bit of traffic in Keep, and having your data there is actually ensuring that you have visibility when people come to search for information about Interreg. But I'm not so surprised to see that the projects are not necessarily always so well aware of keep.eu and that their data is there. And this is, of course, something that you could make note of and be reminded that also the projects can actually benefit quite a bit from Keep, and you will hear some of that today as well. But that their data is there is one thing, and the other thing is that they can actually use Keep as well to find partners and to look at what has already been done when they prepare their new projects. So there is actually quite a lot also for projects, and it's a reminder for all of you to maybe include this in your communication towards your applicants and projects. And also, it's nice to see that you are recognizing keep.eu also as a repository for project outputs after the program period is over and the project have ended, because this is also something that is there, and we're collecting project outputs there, and more keep coming as we speak. And with this, I would then give you all to Rafael, and Rafael will tell us a bit about what's new in Keep in the new period.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me well. I'm just going to start sharing my screen. Okay, I think you can see it now. I've got it here. Okay, good. Okay, I think I've got it all running now. So, well, I wanted to first of all to say that I'm really happy to be here, because it's the first time that we have the chance to talk to this crowd. I mean, communication managers are very important for us as a tool, and this is the first time that we've actually had the chance to address you guys as a group with specific interests. So, well, let's start with why keep.eu should matter to you guys? This is my question to us. We'll try to answer, but we don't want you to take our answer for it. We want you to know a little bit more about the tool. And it's interesting to know that many of you have never used the tool, so it could be very interesting. I think this is more than anyone else for you, but to everybody else, because there's always something new that we can find out about keep.eu. But well, I'll try to show you why keep.eu should matter to you. It is not a communication tool, but it's a useful tool for communication. It contains aggregated data that gives you valuable context information. You can compare other programs in your area, for example, with your own, in terms of geographic reach, in terms of thematic concentration, in terms of indicators. You can see which programs share your indicators, and a lot more. You can also get aggregated information on the area that your program covers for any programming period. It's all in keep.eu. Also, very importantly, and this is kind of a novelty from the previous years, it contains relevant documents from your projects. So we don't ask you to send, unlike the data that we ask you to send the data to us, we don't ask you to send us your documents, the documents produced by your projects. We go and fetch it. Before we do, we always inform you, the anchors that we have in the programs, and we go and fetch the data. We have now around 7,000, more than 7,000 documents in the database. We started collecting only for 2014-2020. And we expect to have a comprehensive collection of documents covering almost all of the Interreg IPA, cross-border, and ENI-CBC projects by the end of next year. So that we're thinking about 30,000 documents. The documents that we collect for keep.eu are those that matter to understand the results of the projects and that can add value to our sector's thematic knowledge. So you can easily search as you search by projects, and you can get a real good juice. That's our aim. And mostly, as I said, it's for you. It's for you to use, but in order for you to use, you need to know how to use it, and you need to know what you can get from it, so that you remember that you can come here whenever you need the information that is actually here. Something else that I'd like to tell you, that it reaches audiences that you alone with your program you cannot reach, because more and more people know about keep.eu. They know it contains aggregated information. We try to be as technically accurate as possible, so we tell everybody how accurate and how representative our data is, down to the field. So I will show you in a minute. So think tanks, the European Commission in many cases, and anyone wishing to have a global overview of at European and, well, worldwide level, because Europe actually covers the whole world with our overseas territories, they come to keep.eu. So we believe that guaranteeing good contents for you, good contents in keep.eu, is also a strategic matter for your program. I could give you some examples. You know probably about the functional areas. We're no experts here about the functional areas, but it's something that is a very hot topic. And we know of experts that come to keep.eu to reckon functional areas. Of course, they need to use it in tandem with other tools, but it's something that is interesting. Also, there were studies on the value added of the cohesion policy, and some came to the conclusion that Interreg is actually the most value added area. Interreg here in the 2021-2027 exception with all our programs. And they got the data from keep.eu. So this is just to show you that there is an advantage in publishing your data and keeping it up to date in keep.eu. So what I'm going to do now, very quickly, I'm going to give you a quick overview of keep.eu. So I'll show you one section in Keep that's called Overview and Representativeness. After that, I will show you very quickly another one called Statistics. I just want you to have a global overview of what you can get in keep.eu. So I won't go deep into any of them. And I will then show you another one called Countries and Regions. And then I will propose to you an exercise so that you can get really hands-on in keep.eu and we can then answer to any questions that you have in the end, as Linda said. So let's start with overview and representativeness. This is a section in keep.eu that I'm going to soon. What is it about? It's mainly about how many programs are there in any programming period, how many projects, how many partners and partnerships, and now how many documents as well. Let me stop sharing this presentation. I hope that I can do it gently. I think I can. I was sharing, and let me see how is it with the view. Okay, and now I think I can share the website. So you don't see, I guess, still? Can you see my screen or?
No, not yet. We see the presentation.
Oh.
No. This is weird. Okay, okay. I think I'm back and I'll be able to start sharing again. Now you can see, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And you see keep.eu. Okay. So we were talking about overview and representativeness. So this is for those who are not aware of keep.eu. This is the screen that you see when you come to keep.eu, to this URL. And here you can see, we call it representativeness. Let me go there. Representativeness is not only about how representative keep.eu is. Here you can also see all the method is here. So if you're interested in understanding how we reckon everything, every figure that is here, you can read it. You're more than welcome. And if you have questions, you're more than welcome to ask us. And here you can see how many projects there are per type of program. So far, we're only covering to 2020 for obvious reasons. And we now say that there are ongoing or closed in our sector close to 9,000 projects, and we cover 8,000 of them. If you want to have a thinner view and know, for instance, for your program or any program, what is the representativeness down to the field. So if you want to know if it contains the name, if it contains whatever field there is in the database, you can also come to here and export to Excel. And this goes also for the partnerships. So now we believe we cover these partnerships, 11,000, close to 12,000 of 39,000 are not in keep.eu. For 39,000 are in keep.eu, so that's 77%. And this is ongoing. So this is updated. This list is updated once a day, but we keep on working every day. So you will come here and you will always see new features, new numbers. Not here though, because the number of programs that with projects in keep.eu, they're pretty stable. And then we have something new. It's about the documents. So you've seen here that this is pretty standard. Documents collected. What we try to show you here is if you want to know how much your program is covered in terms of projects with actual documents in keep.eu, you can come here and see. And then for a clearer view, you can come. Okay, this is what I had to show you. If you want to know more, you can always export to Excel. And this is one feature that I wanted to tell you about. Something else. I think I'm doing it right and I'm going to share the right screen. I trust that you can see. Yeah. Okay, so I told you that I would go through overview and representativeness. Now, let me show you statistics. Statistics is very interesting, and we're working to bring a lot of new functionalities. So statistics is about, as the name says, all the figures that we want you to have. Budget, how many partners and projects in specific. So the representativeness that I showed you, it's a broader term, and you can see what is represented in keep.eu. Here is about what we have in keep.eu. And for instance, what is the average budget in Belgium for Interreg transnational only? What this kind of questions. We want to give you, and that's what we're working on, a view of all of these questions with tables. For now, I want to show you what you can do. Let me again stop sharing and start sharing. Keep.eu. And I think you can see it now. So this is the statistics area. The nice part about it, until now and until we work this part of the website, you can have these charts. Soon you will have tables with all the data that we have in keep.eu turned into figures. And the beauty of this is that this is for everything. So we have here the programs, the projects, the partnerships, the themes. There are 42 themes, so there can be no more than 42 themes. But then, if you want to narrow this down, for instance, like we're talking about Belgium. See, about programs that work in Belgium only. So this is only for Belgium, and we see that projects that involve Belgium are the main budget is health and social services, and there's a close second, agriculture and fisheries, and everything now is adjusted to Belgium. Yeah. So you see here, Belgium. This is the number of projects that started per year in Belgium, and all of this and more you will have. Okay, and this is the countries that have more project with Belgium. And you can do this with many other things. You can then now cross this with types of programs. For instance, this is just one example. Let's say that we just want to know about transnational programs. Of course, ENI, CBC, and IPA Interreg Cross Border are not here because Belgium is not covered by these programs. But so for transnational only, okay, transnationals, we saw different themes before. Now the major theme is renewable energy. Okay, and then you can play with all of this, and you can see how things change here as well. I don't like the stacked. This can work for more than one country, but in one country grouped is better. Okay, so this is for statistics. Soon we'll have news for you with actual tables and actual big figures that you can manipulate at will, so that it becomes easier for you to work out the information in keep.eu. Lastly, I wanted to show you the countries and regions. And countries and regions, it's mainly about the countries and regions, as is obvious. How many and which programs? Let me show you what you can see there. In countries and regions, I will share again keep.eu. So this is, we were already in representativeness. I think now you can see, yeah, in representativeness, we were in statistics, and now we're in countries and regions. And I'll give you an example. I have the example, right? So you just, whatever, you can come here and select any region. For ease, let's say that we want to see nuts to Bratislava. That's where our managing authority is. And then we click show results. And okay, so here it is. We have immediately the programs that cover this region, the partnerships, lead partnerships, and the projects. So if you click partnerships, you will be directed, we were here, you will be directed to partners. And then you can come here and see some partners you can contact, we make sure that the contact, okay, I'm logged in, so I could actually contact them and send a message. I'm not going to do this, obviously. If I were not logged in, we would not see this. Let me see if I can show you what you would see. Yes, please log in if you want to contact the partner. Okay, so this just to tell you that from countries and regions you come here and you come to projects. I think we had a problem this morning. So what if you would click on that button? I'm not clicking because there is a bug, but I will tell you what you would find. You would come to projects. Now we're here. We came from countries and regions to projects and documents. And the only criterion that we would have here would be the region. And let me go again to Bratislava. And you would see the results. So this is it. You would come from countries and regions. You would click on, well, I'm already there, but I have so many. Let me start delete. Okay. All right, we can. Okay, you would come from countries and regions to projects and documents. So you would come from here, where Bratislava was selected, and you would arrive in countries and documents, and you would see the country of Bratislava. It just takes a while. The Bratislava region. I can also write it down. So Bratislava, and it shows, no, we don't want this one. We want the big one. And you would see the results. The big one is NUTS 2, I meant. And you would get here. And then, of course, you could say, okay, I don't care about all of these. I want a specific type of program. I just want to see what there is in terms of projects from transnationals. And I care only for 2014, 2020. And then you can even select a program because it's Interact Transnationals 2014, 2020. They're all already. And we could go on and on. So I hope I give you a good overview of what it is that we have in keep.eu regarding statistics, representativeness, countries and regions, projects and documents, and partners. Let me go back to my presentation. I think you can see it now. So we've seen overview and representativeness, statistics, countries and regions, and through them we've seen projects and documents. We actually didn't see documents, but the process is exactly the same. You just need then to select the documents that you want, and if there are documents in your search, you will see them. Okay, and now I have a proposal for you. I would propose that you bring up your browsers, even if you stop seeing us or the presentation. It doesn't matter, because I will be helping you. I would just want you to go directly to your program. Can you please look for your program in keep.eu? I'll give you some time. Did you find it? Did you have it? Do you have any problem finding it? Okay, I will take silence as you can also write in the chat if you have any issues. Okay, so you got your program. Now please look for all other programs with the same thematic objective, investment priority, or thematic priority, depending on your strand of programs, the same as yours. Do you know how to do this? Okay. Let me, I'm having quite an issue here with
it seems that the connection is somehow slow. The chat is, we have some, website is not loading.
Okay, we'll give you some time. All right.
We'll maybe move on and maybe we can do the testing later.
Okay. The next question would be, how many programs did you get? Well, but now you know that you can do it. Let me give you an idea of how it's done very, very quickly, so that you, if you didn't do it, then you would know how to do it. I think you're seeing that. Yeah. Okay. So it's in programs, and let's see that. Oh, it's actually, there is some. Yeah, it's taking quite a while. I guess it happens sometimes of the day. The traffic becomes a bit bigger. Okay, but it's actually in programs, and when you come here to the filters, you just select the thematic objective or investment priority, for instance. Here in this case, let's see which programs have this investment priority. Well, there are many, and then you can actually see per countries and regions. Let's see those that cover Germany only, for instance. Still many, but you can add more. Okay, you see the how the mechanics of this. And let me go back to my presentation. If you found your programs page, I would propose that you go back to your programs page. And once you're there, go to your programs projects. Click on one of your projects page open and copy a partner's name, and then open the partners page in keep.eu. We've been through the partners, and I think if this is still an issue, isn't it? The speed of the connection. So we don't have to do this. Maybe I can finish my presentation here. I think you guys have an idea of the mechanic, how it went. Let me just tell you very, very quickly what we're having next in keep.eu. So we want to have all the project achievements, all available project achievements by the end of the year. In this, we would dearly appreciate your help. It's really a big help for a lot of us in Interreg, in Interreg IPA CBC and ENI-CBC to get these achievements. And this we can only do with your help if you send us the data. Something that we are not going to ask for your help, but we're going to inform you once we start collecting documents from your programs projects, is that the goal is to have around 15,000 project documents by the end of this year. Let's see if we can get there. A very interesting thing that is coming up very quickly is that you can very soon start adding the links of any project that to other projects. So some projects that came before, some projects that came after, and hopefully we will do this also with Horizon, taking into account Horizon. And then we will need to work out with Cohesio to also get this for the mainstream program. So to see spin-offs, but we're working and we're very close to having this possibility, at least now in the first phase for Interreg only. Interreg only 21-27. So what in 2014, 2020 we called Interreg IPA CBC and ENI CBC. We are working, as I said, in the statistics area. You will be informed about it. Some of the innovations for 21-27 is that the list of operations we will continue offering this. A very interesting thing for us, we aggregate data, is the possibility to use the participant identification code. It's a service that is offered by the European Commission, and a partner of any project of yours can sign up to this. The process seems to be pretty simple, and then they can be assigned a pick, and that pick will follow them wherever they are dealing with, at least with European programs. And we know that regardless of, now we have programs sending us the same partner, but with slightly different names. For us, we have no way of seeing that they're exactly the same partner. We categorize them according as different partners. With the PIC, we hope that this will be streamlined and we will be able to aggregate partners also coming from different programs. So this is the use of the PIC. It's there for you to use if you want to use. Something else that was agreed in the keep.eu 3.0 group was that project partners can start adding information to their profiles in keep.eu. So we will be able to look for project partners with more search filters than we have now, and that will be due to the project partners pitching their own pitch. And we will have more, and we will be counting on your suggestions as well to implement good ideas and to have more. So this is it. Why does keep.eu matter for communicators? We strengthen Interreg, and we strengthen the image of your program in Interreg, and we use all of keep.eu's resources to make your work easier. So that's our main aim. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll now give you back Linda.
Thank you, Rafael. I think that we will have another little question now based on Rafael's presentation in the Menti. So if you go back to the Menti, you will see a new question there. We can have the link again in the chat. The link is now in the chat also if you closed it or. How useful do you consider these different parts of keep.eu as a source of information for the communication work of your program? And we see them being somewhere over the halfway from 1 to 4. We see something between 3 and 4, which is nice. And I think that for all of you, just go there. Maybe the connection got now slow with a lot of people coming at one time. But go there with your time and explore it more. I think you can find new things there that might be useful for different parts of your communication work. But now we can leave the floor to Janne. And Janne will tell us something interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. Good morning, everyone. My name is Janne Kilunen, and I'm now telling you a bit of some of the ideas that we have been brainstorming for the future. So we always are looking for ways how we can share the keep.eu data and its functions with all the programs. And we actually are now setting up a pilot project with all the interested programs to gather ideas how the keep.eu data and functions could be shared. We have now the sign up ongoing to the programs who are part of the keep.eu 3.0 group. And the pilot project will kick off in October, November. And we have already been brainstorming or initially thinking about some ideas that which functions or data could we share with all of you. There is an idea that we could link from your website or from keep.eu's page to a program dedicated page at keep.eu. And some of the ideas we could embed, for example, the dedicated keep.eu page to your program website with the content defined by your program. Another idea would be that we could create a dedicated section or a dedicated page inside keep.eu for any of you with preset or modifiable filters. There is, for example, one example here that we could have an URL, keep.eu/partners/your program name, and there we could preset region, filter of your program area, and then, for example, some modifiable filters, for example, keep.eu themes. As Rafael mentioned, we have 42 themes which we use to categorize all the projects we have. Another idea would that we could have a link to a dedicated program area from specified regions in keep.eu's countries and regions section. We could share the statistics section, which Rafael already showed to you a bit. So we could create a dedicated dashboard with preset or modifiable filters, or a dedicated dashboard that can be embedded directly to your program's website. And here's, for example, one idea. This is from the Alpine Space Program. So we could show all the statistics, all the charts, maps, etc., what we have in our statistics section for any of the programs. And this could be possible to be shared or embedded directly to your website, or that we can use it, have a dedicated page in keep.eu for it. Or we can just share some single charts, like the number of starting projects per year or projects per team. So these were some of the ideas that we have been now already gathering from the keep.eu 3.0 group. And one other idea which we found out, or which was proposed to us, would be a result library in the end to replace the whole project database from our own public website with keep.eu. So we would have a result library which any program could send us all their results, and we could host it in keep.eu, and then you wouldn't need to worry about any more for hosting the old programs result library in your own website. Or if there are any other ideas, we have as I mentioned, we have this keep.eu 3.0 group, and if you have any ideas, please contact your representative, your program's representative in keep.eu 3.0 group, or if you're unsure if your program is presented in the group, please let us know, and we will then tell you who is your representative, or if you don't have any, we are always welcoming new members to the group as well. So this was very shortly about some ideas that we are now playing around with and establishing the pilot project to look for anything that we could do for you. Thank you, and I think I will now pass on back to Linda.
Thank you, and I will bounce you all back to Menti, because we're moving now to the next topic, which is the linkages between keep.eu, GEMS, Harmonized Implementation Tools, also known as HIT, and Cohesion. And are you familiar with these tools? We're asking you. And the link again is shared in the chat, and we see already answers coming in. Keep familiar, if not before, at least today. And then GEMS, HIT, somewhat, but not so familiar. You're good. And Cohesion is the least known to you of all these. But without taking too long on this, I will give the floor back to Rafael, who will tell us a little bit about the linkages between these tools.
I will try now to share my screen. I will be very, very brief because we're running out of time. I think you can see my screen now. I wanted mainly to tell you about the connection between a few projects in Interact and another project from the European Commission that we very much want to support. So HIT means harmonized implementation tools, and it's a project that is like groundbreaking for us, because they define fields that the projects, the project partners, lead partners, the programs agree all over Europe, those that participate in their core group, to have in their forms. And these then we turn into our fields in keep.eu, of course. Also the relevant regulations we take into account, and all of this we run through the keep.eu 3.0 group, and of course we apply the expertise that we have, the existing structure, and we come to the definition of keep.eu. This is then we roll out keep.eu, but also in coordination with GEMS. GEMS is the monitoring system, a common monitoring system that Interact develops for the programs that are that want to and can take a common monitoring system. I won't dwell much into this, so you know that this is basically a schematic of how we are related. We are at the European European Week of Regions and Cities with a presentation of these three tools. You're more than welcome to join us if you want to learn a little bit more about that. Now, the point here that I would like to make to you is Cohesio. Cohesio, as I said, is a very an important database that the DG Regio is now working on. They had the project last year. This year they started working, actually collecting data from many member states. And I don't know the latest status because I was not here for over a week. But the last time I went there, they had already a huge number of member states covered. They will eventually start working with Interreg. And that's where we would like to step in, because if we get the data from all the Interreg programs through the list of operations, with advantages for the programs and for the whole Interreg, we will be able. The Cohesio, they go to the list of operations of the each program, and they get the projects. So why do we find this such a good idea, and why do we want to contribute to this? Because we will be competing with all these important contributors. Yeah, so the member states. So this is basically what I had to tell you. There are questions we know about Cohesio and list of operations. We'll be happy to answer. And that's all I had for you.
Thank you. And now we are at the end of presentations. We have some time to take your questions. We saw some comments, remarks in the chat already, and they are there. There was nothing that would need our interference at the moment. I think that, well, there is answers provided already. If you go back to Menti, there is an open format question for you to think about your needs. How would you develop keep.eu to better support your communication work? So now is a chance for you to insert their ideas, your wishes, and you can be as crazy as you may want to. Anything that you can think of with what you just heard from us that could potentially be something you could enhance your work in the new period, when promoting your program, when making the projects known, when making your program benchmarked against with other programs and so forth. So any ideas that come to your mind, either with something that is already there that we know that you find it useful, you can write it there, or if there's something that you would need that is not yet in keep.eu, you can also write those wishes there. So anything that now resonates, we are very interested to hear how you.
Is it that Linda crashed out?
I'm back.
Okay.
Very.
Okay.
I don't know where you lost me, but I see already questions coming in or comments, and that's good. If now someone has a question, we are here. We understand that we gave you we just poured a huge amount of information on top of you that if you were new to this topic, it might have been quite overwhelming and might take some time for you to digest everything. But we're here also after this session, and don't ever hesitate to be in touch with us with any question or idea or request for more information. We're really willing to help. We see a comment from Michela from the NPA program that the project identification partner identification code is very interesting. If we have any further practical info about it, but do you, Rafael?
Yes, we can share, Michela. Yeah, with everyone. I don't have it here, but both Janne and I, we have the URL where you can send your project partners to. They say that it's a very fast process. I tried it myself, but then well, I reached the point where I couldn't go any further because I'm not a project partner. But I believe it's really a fast thing. But you better do it yourself just to check. We also find it very interesting. I will try to find the URL before we leave for this meeting. In the meantime, we take more questions. Yeah, and I'll post it in the chat. Yeah.
Thank you. About the result library, how this would be treated? Mercedes is asking about the output library. What do you, Mercedes, what do you mean by how it would be treated?
How will it be organized? I mean, if all the programs, they are sending their own libraries, or, there are many, and some of them they're differently classified. I'm especially worried about the harmonization, so each of the libraries of each program will have their different kind of outputs. They will, how would you handle all that? Because I think it's a very interesting, product.
Rafael.
Yeah, that's a very good question. We want to discuss with the interested programs in the keep.eu 3.0 group. Now we're thinking about, if we're talking about the outputs and the deliverables, we have some ideas that we want to discuss, and we'll involve you as well, Mercedes, of course, and the programs that are interested in the keep.eu 3.0 group. For now, the only thing that we will have in terms of anything is in terms of anything of classification is the filters that we've shown you in projects. So that's all there is. So there are 42 themes. You can look for themes, and that's all that we have now.
Okay, but I understand. So they will be harmonized and based on what we already have now. So, they will send you all information, and we will be able to use it following the same way that we are using Keep now.
Yes, it's a field called achievements. Yes, I think okay, yeah, it could have been. I could have been straighter to the point. But there's a field called achievements. Quite a few projects, around 500, already have their achievements there. The last time I checked, maybe it's now more now. But you just go to achievements and see the fields that are filled out. You can also go to representativeness and see which programs have filled out this field. I hope this helped, Mercedes.
Okay, I hope I take silence as yes. We have a question about whether we already know about the format of the list of operations. Will it look like the current general projects view per program or something else? How will the list of operations look like?
Well, the current one is an Excel sheet that we host in keep.eu, and each program that the list of operation refers to puts a link on their website, and then nobody knows if the list of operations is in keep.eu or on the program website, because what happens is that we get the Excel itself. So I was thinking of the same, but yes, we will need to talk with the keep.eu 3.0 group, with our communication colleagues, also with those that are dealing with branding, and we'll have a better answer then. For now, it's still everything in the beginning.
Yeah, so it's basically the Excel. It's not a website, the list of operations as such.
No, it's just hosted in keep.eu.
Yes.
You click on the link, and that's it.
Then there is a question. It is possible that we didn't receive our monthly data export in the last few months. I'm not sure. From Cornelia, do you want to clarify? Yes.
I wasn't responsible for taking care of Keep, so I'm quite new at this. And as far as I was informed, we should receive an Excel file monthly with our projects, and we can update our info where it is relevant and so on. And I saw such Excels before a few times, and nowadays I didn't get or we didn't get anything like this. Is it possible that maybe I'm not on a list, or it's a discontinued feature and we are not getting these Excels anymore? Or I really don't know how to ask it, if it makes sense.
Thank you, Cornelia. Sorry, just stepping in because we're running out of time, but that's very interesting, because there is something that is true and something that is not true about the information that you received. There is actually, I don't know what your program is.
It's Austria-Hungary.
Austria-Hungary. I think it sends the information from the EMS, isn't it?
Yes, it does.
So, yeah. So, well, it should be sent automatically. We will be sure to put you then in the list if you're the one who should be our contact in your program, or one of the contacts. Okay. I think actually it's Janne who deals with the contact with your program, but I think I'm saying, and Janne agrees, that we'll put you there. But there is no actually monthly your program should send to us, if that was the agreement, and I don't know the agreement, but your it comes directly from your monitoring system to us.
Okay, so basically I shouldn't do anything with this, so it's okay, it works automatically. It should work.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the only thing that we need to do is to add you, but well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There is from Tessin, which is a Interact, but for the ENI CBC programs. We have a comment there in the chat. They recently, a while ago, they published an exhibition of the ENI CBC projects all over European borders or border regions. And there is a nice integration with Keep. So there's a link in the chat for all of you, and you can visit their virtual exhibition of their projects. And if you open any project there in the exhibition, you will also see that they integrated a map from Keep, actually showing where the partners are located. So instead of creating a map functionality to the exhibition on their own, instead they used keep.eu to provide a map for this. So this is a very nice practical example of how you can maybe in your future endeavors to use keep.eu data and the available visualizations there. So much worth visiting this exhibition that you find the link in the chat. And we see on the Menti also a lot of good ideas and comments there, and we really dig into these and look at all of them carefully, and anything more that comes to your mind later, we're here for that. And also, if you, as you are working with communications, be aware that we have for keep.eu, we have a Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn accounts. So if you are in any of those platforms active with your program, do follow us, because we there publicize new things that come up. And we also have a newsletter and coming up every month from keep.eu. So if you're not on the list, if you're not receiving this, let us know and we'll add you on the list. Excuse me. So we hope that we've been able to give you an overview of what you could use, and that it's fruitful, and that it will bring you many ideas in your future work. And do remember that we're still always here and really willing to help you out, and also the Keep 3.0 group. If you have a representative there, be in touch with them to find out more about the progress of developing keep.eu.
Linda, let me just say one thing.
Yes.
I just shared the link of the pic. Okay, so it's there, and I'll add it to my presentation as well.
Yes, thank you. And we'll upload the presentations together with the recording of this session to the Interact website. So if you have a colleague who missed it or anyone else, be aware that all this information will be also there, and you know where to find us in the future as well. So thank you very much for attending. We hope it was useful for you. We'll be sending you a link to an evaluation, and we hope that you can then send us feedback on this session as well. With this, I thank you all for participating and wish you a very nice last day of September. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.